Hello, my name is Ivan Tao, and my presentation will be about Internet of Things in the workplace. Before we start, this presentation is part of the Cybersecurity 332-51 class taught by Professor Tadase. In this presentation, I will be covering the topics of what is Internet of Things ecosystem, what are the benefits, what are the risks, examples of Internet of Things devices, and the application of Internet of Things devices. So what is the Internet of Things? It is devices that are Internet enabled. These devices can collect, exchange, and process autonomously or with minimal human intervention. In the workplace, Internet of Things devices are interconnected systems that could range from office equipment to environmental controls, security systems, and even employee wearables. Here I have a small diagram of the Internet of Things of ecosystem that I got from a short article. This is a typical ecosystem that most Internet of Things devices need to operate, but sometimes there can be exceptions, and I'll mention that later. There are two types of devices, sensors and actuators. Sensors are devices that gather information about the environment like physical parameters like temperature, motion, people flow, etc. In other words, this means it converts physical events to a digital form that it can log. Actuators are devices that perform physical actions after they get an external command. For example, actuators turning on the light when sensors detecting a movement within its operating radius. The network is responsible for communicating with the Internet of Things ecosystems between smart things, gateway, and cloud. The security component is responsible for accessing control to the Internet of Things network, data transfer, leakage prevention, and scanning for malicious software. The security component is presented by firmware and software from security providers. The gateway is a physical device that passes data streams through itself from sensors to the cloud and vice versa. A gateway is not a necessary element since Internet of Things devices can set connections to the Internet by themselves. But sometimes professionals need to set this up properly. The cloud is a cloud-based computing resource that is responsible for data storage, analysis, and management. In other words, it is a group of computers that get access through the internet to use for their computer capacity for some purposes. The application is a user interface that provides control and management devices connected to the Internet of Things ecosystem. For example, Ring cameras have their own interface that they control all the cameras from. Lastly is the users, which is perhaps the most essential component among the 7 other components of the Internet of Things ecosystem. Users have two roles in the ecosystem. They either use an Internet of Things ecosystem for their purpose, or they are the ones that define what the Internet of Things ecosystem will do. So what are the benefits? There are many benefits to the use of Internet of Things devices. They can improve collaboration within the teams. For example, video conferences between the different team locations. There are also devices that can help improve the employee experience and help with the workflow within the office. There's also performance and productivity, which is also one of the most important benefits, because performing better and having better productivity will be good on you as an employee. There are many devices that do this. For example, machine learning that delivers insight to improve sales and marketing strategies. Virtual assistants that help people find and connect with your company. Camera sensors, AI technologies that help companies monitor their facilities and inventory. Since Internet of Things devices help create optimized workflow through automations, repetitive tasks can be reduced and resources can be allocated somewhere else to be optimized to their fullest. The Internet of Things can also be used for smart access controls, meaning it can access to different areas of workplaces. Such devices can be used to monitor doors and windows to keep them closed at all times. Access control is critical for workplace safety and efficient operation. This is why more businesses are implementing this, so they can ensure that only authorized workers can access confidential or sensitive areas. With all this integration and simplicity, there are going to be some security risks that pose a serious threat and is difficult to address. One of which is Internet-enabled devices is vulnerable to being hacked and misused in the age of the Internet of Things. There are billions of connected devices that someone could use to access private data, spread malware, or even use tangible harm. As government agencies, businesses, and consumers use and rely on the growing number of Internet of Things applications, Internet of Things network security will continue to be a crucial consideration for manufacturers and end users alike. Cybersecurity is continually evolving, and with the right technologies, design, and maintenance, the application security will be safe. Some security risks are weak authentication, low processing power, legacy assets, shared network access, inconsistent security standards, lack of encryption, and missing firmware updates. The Internet of Things ecosystem can also be costly and usually require professional experience to install and integrate within each other. There are also privacy concerns with the Internet of Things, and a lot of it has to do with security cameras and sensors watching employees' every move. For example, truck drivers having cameras and sensors in the cab that monitors drivers if they are sleepy, if they yawn, or they're on your phone or distracted, whatever it may be. If anything would to be triggered, their supervisor would be noticed, and that employee might receive some backlash. So some of the devices that can be used in the workplace are smart furniture, which are adjustable desks or conference rooms that are equipped with Internet of Things devices to increase productivity and personalize workplace settings. Climate sensors are important because they of course control the ambient room temperature and can regulate a certain temperature throughout the year, which also saves costs. Energy efficient sensors are also important in reducing the utility costs as they can control the lights and other appliances. Smart asset monitoring is also important because there is sensitive information or an area that is only authorized that only authorized personnel can access. This can control and track who have been in those areas if a physical attack were to be made. Required wearable technology is not so common in an office setting, but it may be more common in healthcare or construction or other jobs that require health monitoring. So Internet of Things devices varies from different industries. They may all use similar devices, but they all act in different ways. Taking it for example, healthcare and agriculture. Healthcare uses a lot of monitoring devices and sensors to track the patient's health, and agriculture also uses sensors and monitors devices, but they use it to track either crops or animals. A lot was talked about in this presentation. Let's recap what we talked about. So we learned that Internet of Things devices are connected to a network and are a little more complex than we thought it was. The Internet of Things devices can improve performance and overall employee experience. There are many pros and cons when using Internet of Things devices in the workplace, but in hindsight, the pros outweigh the cons if done properly. If you think about it, Internet of Things devices are used everywhere in every industry, including government and private organizations. That means that they have found a way to improve the cons, which mainly consist of security risks, to implement them in their daily work lives. And these are my sources, and thank you.